We're going to talk about the hypocrisy. This is more of a general...
We're talking about this first, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll go into this, since this is like kind of the same thing.
Maybe.
No, because these two topics are the same, so we could jump into it.
Maybe. But we're this is more so just like a general thing, but it mostly encompasses this one specific point that will highlight things, but just the hypocrisy of people and their ability to forgive things for people that they like or overlook certain things that they like, but then turn around and attack other people for doing the exact same thing just because they don't particularly like them. So that was very general and vague as it can possibly be.
But it goes into the...
But anyway, to be more specific, Rihanna is a billionaire now. So congrats to her.
Rihanna.
I don't have my soundboard set up yet, but we're going to get some...
Yeah, we need to get the soundboard. Could we have it?
We're going to get the applause set up.
What is it called again?
We're not giving any free plugs. We got to stop talking about brands and things. Crazy. But
yeah, Rihanna's a billionaire, which is great. Like, I'm not one of those billionaire haters. Like, I think that's lit.
It's very fire. Being from the islands.
Literally. And to being a billionaire, she's only like 32.
Rock Nation going crazy with all these billionaires.
Yeah, Jay-Z, Kanye, Rihanna now.
Run This Town, Billionaires remix coming soon.
Run This Town part 2.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's crazy because, you know, there's just so many different things I want to say about this. First and foremost, before we get into this specific thing that we wanted to talk about, always capitalize off of the things that you have, in addition to what we were just saying about the investments and stuff like that. Rihanna's not a billionaire off her music. Kanye's not a billionaire off his music. Jay-Z's not a billionaire off his music. And all three of those, and this is true for all three of them, that is the smallest portion of what they make their money from. Kanye's catalog is worth about $100 million just because I'm just a psycho music lover. And
but
he's
most
worth
of his
what?
money is from Yeezy.
He's worth now what, 7?
Yeah. And that's mostly because of Yeezy.
And that's like 99.9999% of
Jay-Z is what?
Jay-Z's
Alcohol?
biggest is definitely his alcohol businesses.
Douce, right?
Douce, he sold a huge portion of Ace of Spades.
Title.
Which he sold to Jack.
Oh, yeah, he sold, yeah.
I think a part of it. I don't think he sold. I don't know if he sold the whole thing, but just even that, his alcohol businesses. Yeah. He has Rock Nation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true.
Well, all the Rihanna signed to him.
Yeah. He gets a portion of her money.
He has Rock Nation Sports. He has just so many different things, and none of those things have to do with music, really.
Yeah.
And I think
Rihanna's makeup.
And that's an important thing. You get one step, and you take that step to take the next step to take the next step, and you just keep going.
You don't get comfortable because a lot of these rappers, like I said, like I was saying earlier, not everybody's meant to be a business owner. So some of these rappers are probably very content. Like they're like, I'm still rich, but it's different if you want to be a millionaire or a billionaire. And a lot of rappers are content with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody it has to be a business owner, but it just shows the difference.
But I guarantee you, if somebody was like, "Yo, you want $1 billion?" that they would take it.
They would. Yeah, if they knew exactly what to do.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not no billionaire hater. Like I don't want
so whack.
People. Yeah, the way people really bash billionaires, and then they be like, "Oh, you be kissing these billionaires' feet like they know you." I'm like, no, I just feel like people hate, like how we talked about this earlier. People hate capitalism, but capitalism is literally the reason. Like you're literally on your iPhone, on Twitter talking about you hate capitalism. Then throw out your iPhone. Don't go on Twitter. Don't use anything. Don't go to the grocery store and go buy chips at any time of the day.
Yeah, don't go.
Like, capitalism's
don't drive
a good
a car.
thing. People
don't
not
drive.
realize what capitalism means. Like maybe you guys should look up the definition. Capitalism is literally a good thing. It's literally the ability for any one of us to get rich. That's literally what it is. Nobody's overseeing us. There's no control. Go live in China then if you want that communist socialism.
Where they don't even
life.
have Google.
Like, yeah.
They literally don't even use Google. They don't have Twitter. They don't have Facebook.
Yeah.
They don't have anything.
Like you're literally on an iPhone talking about capitalism when there's literally a person who took advantage of the capitalist society and created the iPhone.
Just real quick, we're not going to stay on
Jobs.
this, but I saw a list of all of the things that they don't have over there, and I was like, yo.
Yeah, and people always say, I hate America, and then go head to these communist countries.
Then I saw another doc, because Jack Ma, the creator of Alibaba, is still missing, the billionaire from China.
That was crazy.
But then I was looking at the long list of billionaires that just disappear off the face of the earth, and I was like, yo, that's pretty
Scary.
wild.
Yeah.
But,
so...
yeah, I think that
people said, I know people's argument though why they hate billionaires because they feel like they became billionaires off the backs of laborers and stuff, like people working in sweatshops and stuff. So I guess that's people's argument. I don't know. People think that's like Amazon workers and like whoever makes Rihanna's makeup. They're like, oh, they get treated bad, or like you guys only became billionaires off the backs of other people.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
That is you employ people to work for you, and then that's what makes you rich.
Yeah.
That's every
like,
business.
It's not like that Rihanna still couldn't do that, but obviously like you need people. I don't think she acts like she doesn't need people. I'm sure she pays them fair pay. Like
I think people get mad at this self-made, but what did they want? But that's what Kanye said. He was like, they wasn't. Well, that's not what he meant. But like, if you take his line where he says like, they weren't satisfied unless I picked the cotton myself.
Yeah.
Like, you want her to go in the factory and chop up
like
100
people,
million
I don't know what
samples.
People
just hate everything that they can't do.
Because I could guarantee you, if they were a billionaire, they would not even be doing half the things they want these billionaires to do with their money. And the thing is, people don't even do the research. Like, they're like, oh, these companies could end these people can end homelessness with all their money and stuff. I'm sure a lot of these billionaires do contribute their money and like donate their money.
Let me just interject real quick. The wealthier you are, the more of a liberal sort of person you are. Like, the real wealthy people are the most liberal people in the world. They drive Teslas. They don't believe in all these different things. They're literally like kind of like the coolest people ever.
Yeah.
It's like the rich people that like where the line gets a little blurry. But usually the wealthy people are like, they donate so much money.
And that's the thing I don't think people understand, because like I, do accounting and like tax accounting. I learned a lot of stuff. When you're rich, the best way for you to get tax breaks is to contribute your money.
So
charitable contributions is a huge tax break. Like, are people dumb? They don't even know. These people are doing it even if they don't even want to. They do it so they can get these tax breaks. Like, the money is being donated. And they all do it. Yeah.
They all do it.
Yeah.
No, not one wealthy person does not do that.
Yeah.
You go, because I work for Bloomy. You go to pretty much anywhere in the city, you're gonna see his name right there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Bloomberg Philanthropies.
Every museum.
Anywhere in New York, if you go to Paris, if you go to Brazil, if you go to any place,
like,
his name is there for a reason.
You could go into so many museums in New York for free because of billionaires, but you're saying that they're not doing anything.
They do a lot. I just think that.
But
I get the argument, because
I do,
but you know what? One thing that people need to understand is that liquidity is a real thing. Like, Kanye's a billionaire. If he said he could give $1 to everybody on Earth, so that's $7 billion, whatever. Yeah. Kanye doesn't have $7 billion. He may not even have 100.
He just is worth that.
He may not even have $100 million in cash. He's just worth that because of the stuff that he owns.
It's not like being a billionaire doesn't mean that I open Chase right now and there's $1 billion in my account. Like, people don't understand this assets. That's the value of their business. That's the value of their estates. Yes, that's the value of all the things they own. Doesn't mean that that's liquid cash. Like, you guys need to be educated. That's all. Because it's just too many. Social media gave too many dumb people and simple-minded people a voice. And then there's a whole bunch of other dumb, simple-minded people that retweet it and like, yes.
And what did I tweet? Well, you probably didn't even see it. I tweeted yesterday, I think. I was like, it's just a bunch of lost people that are leading lost people.
Yeah, and it's like only a small amount of us that are actually smart and our voices and loud enough, because it's just too many dumb stuff. And like, then you have pages like the Shade Room
that perpetuate all this stuff
and literally profit off of.
And they don't.
Our people being.
And they
dumb,
probably don't even believe that.
They don't. And the person who owns the page isn't even like African American too. So it's probably like, I think she's like might be Nigerian and stuff. So it's just funny. Like, she's literally profiting off like. African American culture.
Which is capitalism too.
That's capitalism. Everything's capitalism.
But you in the comments like, yeah.
And you're mad that like people like Jeff Bezos, whatever, is a billionaire, but you use Amazon. You're literally the one making rich because of our capitalism society, because of the convenience that you could sit on your phone and order something. It could be here tomorrow. That's you enjoying his business that he built in our capitalism society, but then you're going to complain how he's rich and you're making him rich. That don't use Amazon.
Or don't use anything.
Don't use an iPhone. If you don't want Apple to be profitable, don't use your iPhone.
But you remember, like, all of the different companies that I said run off of Amazon? Like, don't use any of them.
Don't use any of them.
Don't use Netflix. Don't use anything. Don't use some of the hospitals in the world. Like, don't use
everything. Is capitalism.
And everything.
You need furniture. You're on Wayfair. You're making whoever the Wayfair owner rich.
Yeah.
You want to go out to eat at Applebee's or Fridays. You're making the owner of the freaking
rich.
Whole establishment rich.
And they're at a beach and they have no idea who you are.
But you're complaining about capitalism. You can't complain about a structure that you benefit from also, because you benefit from it as well. Not just the rich people. You benefit from it because of the convenience of all these people who are able to have the freedom to create businesses that you could use.
And I took a screenshot of this because this is literally how everybody is. I'm not going to be able to put it on a screen. Maybe I could do it in editing.
Yeah.
But literally, it's a person with their shades on, with some Apple headphones in, on their iPhone,
on a MacBook.
On a MacBook, drinking a Starbucks cup with a Smash Capitalism sticker on their laptop, and they are paying for all of the capitalist things.
You ask Starbucks. Go to Dunkin', go to Wawa, go get some cheap coffee. You don't need to drink Starbucks. You don't need a MacBook. You don't need an iPhone. You don't need an iPhone. Like,
you don't need a phone.
But he's talking about he was smashing capitalism while you're literally using all the things, the luxuries, I guess.
That's why
this crazy people.
We were watching it where we God, I forgot his name, but when the that wealthy guy, God, what is his name? He's like, oh my God, I'm having a brain meltdown right now. But he went to Occupy Wall Street and asked people.
Oh yeah.
And everybody nobody could speak because he was like, why are you guys really here?
That's what actually educated me. Like, because when he was making all those good points about capitalism, like that's crazy. I never realized like that people have been complaining about a system that's actually good. Yeah,
because that's what we're employed by, people that took advantage of a capitalistic society. I might be unemployed if people didn't do that.
Whoever created Prudential, thank you for creating this company so I could live financially comfortably.
Yeah, like, shout out to everybody that made everything. We're
speaking on companies.
We're speaking on mics.
Yeah, somebody created this.
It's all capitalism.
Somebody created this.
You're watching this on a capitalist.
Somebody created. The property manager had the idea to get into real estate and created a building for us to live in. But you're complaining about the fact that people did that just because you can't do it, and that's really the root of it. You don't care. You don't care about homeless people. You don't care about homeless people. You're just mad because you are struggling and you feel like you shouldn't struggle in a society that we all could succeed in.
Yeah.
And I get there's an issue with people being extremely poor. Like, I get that. And that's a whole different issue that we would have to address. But it's like the people who are complaining aren't poor because you're on an iPhone, on Twitter, tweeting. So
let's get into it, because people they want to throw money at all the issues in the world when most of the people that are homeless are mentally
voluntarily homeless too. Not voluntarily, but like family tried to help them, ran away, didn't want help.
Yeah, but even that, it's like definitely more in California too. New York is different, but like I work in New York, so I see the most intense homelessness because I just looked up the data, remember the other day, where New York is like by far the most homeless populated. Yeah. And it's a city. It's
in the US, right?
In the US. I see the most extreme level, well, maybe not the most extreme levels of homelessness, but I see it because of where I work, it's not extreme necessarily, but I see a lot of homelessness. It was my first day back like 2 weeks ago, and I did like a speed run in my head. I'm like, how quickly when I get off this PATH train will I see a homeless person? I think it might have been 4 seconds, like not even joking. And I was there at 5 a.m.
Even last night I saw homeless people in Newark.
And it's mental illness. We gotta really talk about it. It's not that they don't have money, that they don't have a job. They could walk into like any fast food place really and legitimately get a job because they always need help. They always need people to work.
How many times me and you were out and we're like, we make jokes like, oh look, they're hiring. Like,
yeah, it's all the time.
It's always
the reason why the homeless people won't go and get those jobs is not because they can't go get the job. It's because they're mentally ill, and in their mind they will either prefer to be on the street, or they're so like in a different like autistic level, or like schizophrenic paranoia, like just a crazier weight, and I hate to use the word crazy, but just like a elevated level of mental illness. Yeah. That throwing money at it is not going to help. It's not going to help. You give them $100, they probably would throw it out.
That's like a mental illness problem, and even then, there's only so much you can help with mental illness, because like you could be medicated and still reject the medication that just doesn't work for you. Like that's just a whole nother. That's just a part of being a human. Unfortunately, like we have to deal with these things.
And one thing that mental people that are professionals in the mental illness space and trying to treat it and stuff like that, one of the things that I've heard consistently is that if they don't want the help, then you can't do anything. You can do. If they're not going to take the medicine, if they're not going to take the therapy, if they're not going to do any of those things, there's literally nothing you can do.
You can't force it down them. We live in a democracy. Like you can't force people.
You can't pin people down and make them take medicine and be like, get a job. Like you can't do these things. So throwing money at all your issues is not the solution. It's not the solution. But it's telling that people go to that as the issue with billionaires, because that's really just underlying for what they want. They really just want money thrown at them. Yeah. They don't want. They don't. I noticed that literally too. Never anybody ever says like, "Yo, let's get them."
Yeah. It's just like that's the thing. Like that's crazy because I see that all the time. Like people they'll make arguments about like, oh, this percentage of the population, like we're struggling and billionaires exist. Like you said, they just want handouts. Like they just want a reason for the government to give everybody money.
Stimuli, and all this other stuff.
And that's just not how.
As
like,
opposed to
in a perfect world, there would be no money, and we all just lived on this earth and just lived. But that's just not how it is. And like we need these structures in place. Things like just the world would be crazy if we didn't have some type of structure.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just excuse the fact that they like. That's why anytime we make these arguments, it's to a specific group of people. It's not to everybody. Like when I say these things, it's coming from a place of me talking to the lazy, making excuses for everybody type of people out there. Not people who generally have issues in life and people who are really struggling and born into circumstances that they can't control. I'm talking to the people out here who want to live life like being lazy and live as casual as possible, but they want everything. That's the people who I'd be mad at.
Yeah, they want to work less and get paid more.
Yeah, they want handouts from the government, but they don't even try to do anything. They're mad at billionaires but haven't taken up any hobby. Like that's the people we're talking about. Like
the funny part is that the people will get the stimulus and then go spend it on capitalism businesses. Yeah. Let me go get this, because you see that's exactly what happened.
Get crab legs.
People took the PPP loans and went crazy buying cars and all types of other stuff. So people hate capitalism, and then the second they got $1, they went and spent it
and circulated it into our society
and made the wealthy person still
more rich. But then they're mad at the rich people.
All right, we out of here.
And that's the thing too. A lot of people were mad at Rihanna. That was the point I wanted to make.
Yeah, we didn't even get to the actual point.
I don't like the hypocrisy of that, because that's how we talked about before. Remember I said if Rihanna wears something, it'll be fire, but if someone else wears it, they think it's trash.
Yeah, people are too hypocritical.
They just love her, and I get it, but still, like, keep that same energy. Why you hate Jeff Bezos, but you love Rihanna?
And this is no Rihanna hate, because we love Rihanna. Mm-hmm. Well, at least I would love Rihanna. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I've been a fan since the beginning.
I love Rihanna. Everything that
remember that Rockstar video I made? That's true. I used to do lip sync videos.
Yeah, we love everything about Rihanna, fashion wise, business wise, music wise. Everything about her is definitely fire. So it's not Rihanna hate, but it just this exemplifies like you were saying, if Rihanna wore this, it's fire. Somebody else wears it, it's trash. If Kanye does something, because usually people think Kanye's crazy, so usually when he does stuff, it's like, oh, he's blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and the comments are automatically going to be negative. And everybody in the comments are just going to be negative because they see negative comments.
Except for this time with the album releases and stuff like that, I've seen nothing but positive.
I've seen mixed stuff.
I've seen nothing negative.
And there's even still some people like, are we all forgetting what he said? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like,
we have got to. All right, next episode, I'm gonna come with the full Tyler interview clipped, and we're gonna go through each topic, because he talked about. That's exactly what he was saying. He was like, "What's people's purpose?" Like, he was literally saying, like, "Oh, what? All right, let's get Kanye out of here. Now, what are you gonna do with your life?
Yeah.
Still, what are you gonna do?
Like, so what did you accomplish? Like, people find like joy out of it. It's like they
get off on
it. Yeah, their heart races, and they're like, "Oh yes, we're getting like this is crazy."
And that's what he was saying. He was like, people you do. He's like, oh, well, I didn't make the basketball team in high school. Well, we got Kanye out of here.
Yeah, like congrats. Okay. That's what you did with your life. Congrats. Your resume is great.
He still has 12,000 acres that he can go ride his tanks on. Yeah, and you're still gonna go back to be where you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's definitely a lot of hypocrisy when
people pick and choose.
Yeah, when somebody they like does something, they love it. Nothing. It's just gas. It's just yas, mad claps, yas. And then when somebody that they don't like, or somebody that doesn't look like them, because I guarantee if Bezos was black, it wouldn't be black people complaining about Bezos. They'd be like, oh my God, look, blah, 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 blah. Because nobody says that really about Oprah.
Oh. And Oprah's probably, we're going to talk about, I actually had that for the next podcast. Look, it says fourth podcast. Look, we're going to talk about Oprah. Oprah is problematic too, low key. Like we got to dig into how problematic she is, and nobody ever checked her on it. And she kind of just chilling right now. She's a billionaire, right?
She's a billionaire, but Kanye has a lot more money than her. Jay-Z has
a lot more.
Maybe not a lot more, but
they're on the like.
Because nobody watches talk shows anymore. Yeah. So Oprah's whole claim to fame.
So she kind of like stagnant, and they're still going because Kanye is not even probably at his peak with his money. I'm sure you see everybody's called Yeezy Slide prison shoes, and every time I'm out, I see Yeezy Slide. I saw somebody last night, but those croc-looking ones. I'm like, I thought you guys hated Kanye. Everywhere I go, as somebody with Yeezys on.
But that's the thing. Everybody hates everything
until
until
cool.
they just have to get their taste and what they like based off that. Because that's what I was telling you. I'm like, yo, I have to not follow these people on Instagram, because all I'm ever gonna want to do is try to replicate them.
It might not be purposely. It might be subconsciously.
The second I unfollowed all those people, I've started to learn more about myself, the stuff I like, the things I'm interested in, instead of trying to replicate what's on Instagram because it's acceptable, because I want people to accept me and like things and be like, oh, this is fire because somebody else wore something similar. Like, once I got out of that, made me feel better.
Yeah, which is good, because now you're having a mind of your own, and that's when you actually like
enjoying yourself. But people are just
the
so
average
sheepy.
people aren't like that. Like, it's crazy. Anytime you go out, just like multiple people wearing this, looking the same. Like, why do you guys think? That's, at the end of the day, do you? But it's like, I don't take pride in looking like everybody else. Like, I want to wear something that no one's wearing. Like, I want to be the person that like, whoa, what is she wearing? Like, even me with my pink hair, like these last 2 nights where I went out, everybody was like, oh my god, like, it's lovely hair. Like, I just like the fact that I always stand out, so
yeah, so
I try my best.
People are just definitely hypocritical with who they give their chances to, because of Beyonce or somebody that is
like socially acceptable.
Yeah, there's the group of socially acceptable people that no matter what they do or everything that they do is like gassed up. It's like accepted. It's like, okay, we're gonna give them our money. Let's throw our money at it. But if there's somebody that does the exact same thing, then
hate.
It's hate.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like Tiana Taylor until recently, where she like got herself out of that.
But she was hated.
She was hated because of that whole Rihanna situation. Because people love Rihanna.
They were beefing.
And they were beefing. But
and
then,
now people, I feel like her turning point was when she was in Fade.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like, oh my god, who's that?
Yeah, and then now public perception is different. Now everybody loves her. Now
She can do no wrong. Her relationship with her mom and the kids, like, she just has a different image now.
Yeah, because if she was like still didn't break out of that and was like being open about her her threesomes and things with Iman, and then people would be smoking her, like they would be killing her. But because now public perception is different, then people love her. Then they love her. So everybody's just hypocritical all the time. Yeah, it'd be killing me. Like, have a mind of your own. Yeah. Tyler's example was this. So just for like context, he said you'll go to a page like Hypebeast and it'll say that somebody made this T-shirt or whatever, and he said the first thing. He said the only thing you're going to see when you go down to those comments on hypebeast.com is 10 comments that's going to say that thing is trash. Mm-hmm. And if you're the type of person that gets your opinions and mindset from the internet, you're going to go there to the comments, see that everybody thinks it's trash. And
I'm not wearing that.
Yeah, then you're in your mind, you're like, okay, this is trash because everybody else thinks it's trash. Then you go tell somebody else, like, did you see this? Oh, this person made this and it's trash. Now everybody thinks that something's trash because some randos from like the middle of nowhere
who probably don't even exist. Weren't even gonna buy it. Probably can't buy it.
And then there's 100 million, not 100 million. I gotta stop doing these crazy numbers. But there's thousands of other people that thought the thing was nuts and they bought it in 2 seconds. Yeah. And the item was actually fire. Yeah. And now you got your taste from something else. You missed out on an opportunity because you read a comment that told you how you should feel about a song, about anything. Yeah. And now you just perpetuate sheep-like behavior.
And then until it's cool, because like I said, but the Yeezy slides and then the Croc-looking shoes, everybody was dragging those bad. I don't know what the turning point was, but everybody got those now.
Everybody was smoking Crocs in high school.
Paying mad resale too. You paid so much more than you could have paid. Those shoes sat on the Yeezy site for weeks.
My brother got them things when they were nothing.
Yeah, like what, 60, 50?
I don't even know if it was maybe? That. Yeah, we might have been even lower than that.
Now you're paying like $200 for slides because you thought they were ugly until they were cool. Now you end up paying more money.
Yeah, even Yeezys, even 350s. Yeah. People thought they were like, oh, what are those? Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Now a couple years later, they're out. You can't go. You could do a speed run in New York.
They're everywhere. Like before, it used to be rare seeing Yeezys. Like back when they first came out, like I used to be gassed. Anytime I saw people with Yeezys,
you would always take a Snapchat.
I was like, oh my god,
you'd be in a party, you see somebody like Yeezys.
Because I used to try every single drop, and I failed bad until like 2018.
People are just so sheepish, and it's just this group of like media companies that do all of this. Like you'll go to Hypebeast or Complex or like who else? Academics or I don't know.
Like anything, I guess.
The Shade Room, just any news media outlet, they all post the exact same thing, the same perception. You never see the Shade Room have an opinion on something that differs from the same opinion that another news outlet has. They all have the same opinion of something. They all collectively say something is trash. Like everybody will be dragging somebody. We'll just say anybody. They'll all do it. Not one person out of that media outlet, not one company will ever have an opposing view.
Yeah. Because
they know that that's not what's going to work. And then because they perpetuate this, everybody has the same mentality and everybody ends up being stuck.
Yeah.
But who cares? Because they're making the money off of it. And again, still feeding into capitalism. They're still being rich because you're giving them clicks and commenting on their posts and stuff like that, giving them a platform.
Yeah.
People hate academics, but go to his comments.
Yeah. So you're literally making him more rich and more relevant.
Yeah, people are same with the Kardashians, of course.
Yeah, the Kardashians are my big example. People claim they hate them so much, but every single time they do something.
If you're monitoring behavior, you're a fan.
Yeah, and you're making it more relevant by you quote tweeting something like, "Look at Kim appropriating Black culture again." You're constantly quote tweeting her tweets. I wouldn't have even seen that if you didn't quote tweet it. So now I see it. Like, you're literally you're making these people more relevant and famous, and then they're mad that they're relevant and famous.
Yeah, so
if you really don't care about them, then don't talk about them.
Yeah, if you really don't, but that goes for anything. If you really don't care about anything, then don't say anything. I think the only time...
We don't need your 2 cents. No one's looking up to you as a social activist. We don't need your 2 cents about her appropriating Black culture. Like, just don't talk about it then.
But not even that. It's like, it's just with anything. Like, if you don't like those sandals, just don't buy those sandals. Because all you do is just do more promotion. You talking about it is promo no matter what. Because if I didn't see those sandals, I'm like, oh, let me check these out.
That's why all celebrities always say, like, hate is not even, they don't even care about hate because hate is still engagement.
Yeah, it's still making the money. They'll go take that screenshot of how many people hated their thing. Like, oh, I got this many impressions, and then go use that to go get a bag while you're sitting there still where you are in life.
Yep.
And that's why this social media thing is crazy.
It's so crazy. It's just funny.
It's all going to come toppling down soon. I think people will start to realize.
Because anything that comes to fast has a fast drop. So if social media was so rapid into our society, it's going to fall just as fast as it grows.
It's crazy because people literally, like, I know this is what we were just talking about, but people really gas up rich people buying like a Lambo or like a Chrome Hearts Rolls Royce or something. Like, they'll gas it up like, oh, this is the craziest thing ever. And then go cry about how their situation. It's just crazy. But if it's somebody they like, then it's fine.
Yeah, people be like, oh my God, look at the car that so-and-so brought so-and-so. Like, I was like, oh my God, so cute.
Goals.
God, it's me again.
I need rich friends.
But then next week you're tweeting about how you hate rich people and how you hate billionaires and how they hoard wealth.
Hoard wealth? What does that even mean? Hoard it?
Apparently, the money that you earned is not valid since you earned it.
So
apparently you're hoarding money
if you don't give it away to randos.
Yep.
I should put my cash up in the comments since those people are so
be like, help
charitable.
Me out. Help me pay my student loans,
please.
Since you're such a charitable person.
Yeah, since we're doing handouts.
You probably don't do anything.
They probably don't even do regular charity themselves.
They don't even sign a petition.
They probably don't do anything. They probably never donated.
They probably, when they ask you if you want to donate $1 to the kids at the cash register, they probably like, nope.
Yeah, they probably never went to a clothing drive, probably never did no Habitat for Humanity, probably didn't do anything. Never a Thanksgiving drive, never a Christmas drive. No
community service, nothing.
Never did anything.
Yep.
Never went to a Boys and Girls Club.
Nope.
Never went to the YMCA.
Nothing.
They don't even drop the change in the McDonald's.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
Ronald
a little
McDonald fund. Y'all are crazy.
But billionaires are hoarding their money.
Bro, I donate money when I go to...
You could do stuff too. As an everyday average person, like, you could donate too.
I donate money when I go to UPS.
You just always give people money.
Just always giving out money everywhere because it's like, you know, because I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
That's it.